I think for me, what I really
But
liked
just give us
was
like a brief description. Oh, I'll let you talk.
what I really liked was I think what made it enjoyable was the fact that I was living with four other girls and they were all pretty clean and nice and everyone was respectful of each other. We didn't have like any issues, any arguments, any problems. We had like cleaning duties and it was pretty neat. Um, and obviously being a first year student, it's like your first time away from home. So everything was like nice. There was nothing to complain about. Like having my own space was nice. Being able to see my friends whenever I wanted was nice. Um, and like I said, mine was literally on campus, like literally across the road was one of the lecture buildings. Further up the road was another lecture building. It was very much embedded into the university campus. So like if you're late to lecture, like that's on you because it's literally on campus.
Yeah, of
So I think
course.
that was like a big benefit as well.
And your second year?
My second year, I lived behind the campus, like the was it the union building, like the campus student building. I lived behind that, so it was still on campus, but just like the other side of the campus. So it wasn't far. I literally moved like 2 minutes away. And I lived with my friends and one other girl, which was a bit more difficult. But this place was nicer, like it was bigger, it was a little bit more expensive. Um, it was nice in the sense that it was like a double bed, bigger room, bigger kitchen. Um, but the downside is that like the
Is this
maintenance was,
student halls
yeah, it was still
or
student halls, yeah.
what was it called?
It was called Evans Student Living.
Okay.
So it
So
was
it was a
still,
bit better than student village.
it was better in in terms of how it looked and like the setup of it, but the maintenance team was terrible. So if something broke, like the lift broke all the time and it would take them forever to fix it. And we lived on the top floor. So that was a nightmare. The reception staff were quite rude, never really friendly, never kind. And then I think in the last few months that we were meant to be staying there, like around exam season, they lied to us and told us that they had to move us out because there was like a problem. They had to replace the roof. When in actual fact, they just wanted to add like 3 extra floors to the building so they couldn't have us live there while they were doing extra building work. So they lied to us and told us we had to move out because of that. So they tried to compensate us financially and they moved us into like really, really nice, like expensive studios. So we all had our own studios, like that hadn't been lived in before. They were brand new, which was nice, but it was inconvenient because it was literally exam season. Like you can't ask, and it was
Hmm.
really far from campus. It was like a 20-minute walk from campus. So it was really, really far as well. So going to the library was long as well. But it was just a nice place to live, but the service around it wasn't great.
And your third year?
Third year, I was sick of people and sick of university, so I moved into a private studio. It was like just a bit more estate agent, but they catered to students as well. So I didn't have anything to do with the student halls for the final year. I was like, got my own little studio, lived by myself. It was peaceful. It was lovely. I even had a balcony and I loved it.
So if we compare living in a studio and a student accommodation versus living in a private studio, could you kind of give which like benefits, downsides?
um, so a private studio versus a student one.
Yeah.
I guess the student one, I guess, is like one of those where everything is included. So you have like a downstairs study, a downstairs laundry, and obviously we had like maintenance coming over whenever we needed something fixed, um, and all your bills were inclusive. But in a private one, like without the uni, it was not all bills were included, and you had to like pay for your own Wi-Fi. I didn't because I use like the Wi-Fi of the building, but anyways, we're not gonna get into that. But so it's like not all bills are included, and then obviously if you had like maintenance issues, I didn't have any maintenance issues because like I'm organized. But let's say if I did, I think it would have taken really long for them to fix stuff. Um, and so it's good in that. Those are the only things I can think of.
That's all right. And now in your masters, are you still staying in a student accommodation, a privately owned thing, or at home?
Unfortunately, I'm staying in student halls again. because that's the cheapest thing I could find in a city called London, where everything is expensive. That's the cheapest thing I could find, was like a student hall, and I'm sharing with 8 other girls. But the kitchen is humongous. We've got like, I think like 4 or 5 fridges, like 2 sinks, 2 hobs, big island, big table, sofas in the kitchen. So it's not like it's cramped. There's enough space. Like my room is pretty much the same size as the room I had in first year of uni in my undergrad. It's just that we've got a bigger kitchen and bigger facilities to share between all of us. So yeah, but it's very pricey for what you get.